Okay, so welcome. Today I'm going to be doing a video and slightly different from usual. I'm going to be doing one about EFT and around illness. I'm just dealing with that overwhelm that you feel around illness. And this could be chronic illness. It was something which someone asked me to do, which was about chronic illness. But it can be any form of illness, or maybe you're just feeling overwhelmed in your life. So, yes, please do follow along. So, what I'm going to first of all show you briefly is where to tap on the points. This is from EFT, and I first trained in EFT about 20 years ago. I think it was 2000. And I have since done other courses, so I am a practitioner, and also I do matrix re-imprinting, which is another form. So this is the first point. This is called the top of the head, and this in Chinese medicine is the 100 meeting point. This point here, that's the next point. You just use both fingers, and you can do it on either side. And that is the Bladder Meridian, that one. And then you've got in here, just in the indentation on the side. And we tap on each point 5 to 10 times. So I just recommend you just practice this with me, because it sends in a really peaceful signal into the amygdala, so in the part of the brain. And this one here is the gallbladder meridian. Here. This is the stomach meridian here. So we just tap 5 to 10 times, and it's just on the bone. You feel the bone just under the eye there. Then in the center point of the lip, we tap there. Center point of the chin, just in the fold. We tap there 5 to 10 times. And then on here, the collarbone. So it's just the fleshy point underneath the collarbone, and especially the point where the bone starts to come down into the chest. So just tapping in that corner point there, and again either side. There are other points as well, under the arm and under the nipple here. You can do those as well. I generally don't when I'm working with clients, just to give it a bit more simplicity, especially if I'm doing matrix re-imprinting. So we'll start on this other point as well, which is called the karate chop point, and there are other points as well, but I'll just keep it simple. So just follow along. So even though, and repeat the words either in your mind, or if you want to say them out loud. I find saying them out loud is really good. So even though I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm okay. And we do the setup statement 3 times. So even though I feel overwhelmed, I feel ill, I'm maybe chronically ill, and I feel overwhelmed by this. And maybe it feels too much. I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I feel overwhelmed, this illness, it feels too much. I feel really overwhelmed. I'm okay. So top of the head, and we just use I feel overwhelmed. Top of the eye, I feel overwhelmed. Side of the eye, feel overwhelmed with this illness. Under the eye, maybe I feel chronically ill. Under the nose, and I feel chronically ill. And I'm struggling with this. collarbone, and I'm struggling with this. And then just the next point is just on the wrist, just holding the wrist. Deep breath in, breathe out, peace. And what I recommend you do is just check in. How do you feel? So at the beginning, it's really important to say as you do the SUDS level, which I missed out, and that's just rating it from 1 to 10, 1 being very little to 10 being, really intense. What's the feeling of overwhelm? And just check in. Maybe it's a 9 if it's, you're really feeling overwhelmed. And then after you've tapped 1 round, how do I feel now? Maybe it's gone down to a 6. It's like, okay, and just keep going. Even though I feel, and you change it, so even though I feel less overwhelmed by this illness, I'm okay. Even though I feel overwhelmed by this illness, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I feel overwhelmed, I'm okay. Top of the head, feel overwhelmed. This illness, side of the eye, it feels too much. Under the eye, I feel chronically ill. Under the nose, maybe I just feel ill. On the chin, but this makes me feel overwhelmed. On the collarbone, I don't want to be ill. Top of the head, maybe I hate being ill. Top of the eye, it feels too much. Side of the eye, and I feel overwhelmed. And yet as I tap under the nose, I give myself space to feel this. On the chin, and allow it to be okay. On the collarbone, this is how I feel. Top of the head, I feel overwhelmed. Top of the eye, and it feels like this. Side of the eye, and it starts to shift. Under the eye, and the overwhelm starts to dissolve. Under the nose, because this feeling is like a river. On the chin, when I give space to it. On the collarbone, it flows away. Top of the head, letting go of this overwhelm. Top of the eye, letting it all go. Side of the eye. It's okay to feel this. Under the eye, I feel more at peace. Under the nose, the illness is still there. On the chin, but I'm not struggling with it anymore. On the chin, I've made peace with this illness. Top of the head, This is how it feels to make peace. Top of the eye. And even though I feel sick, side of the eye, maybe joy can spring up from within me. Under the eye. And as joy springs up, under the nose, it triggers hormones within me. On the chin, which bring healing to my body. On the collarbone, as this peace and joy flow through me, top of the head, I give myself space to heal. Top of the eye, my body is healing. Side of the eye, I can feel it in my cells. Under the eye, I am a really good person. Under the nose, just by doing this is very healing. On the chin, may I find peace here. On the collarbone, I am finding peace here. And then just holding the wrist point, deep breath in. As you breathe out, peace. And just checking in now. How do you feel? A level of 1 to 10. How do you feel with this overwhelm around sickness? Maybe, how do you feel about the sickness? Maybe things have started to shift and change. So wherever you are, if you need to go back and do this again, and I recommend doing this if you're not feeling well, if you have chronic illness, to do this on a daily basis. Just to follow through this video. And even if you're feeling a bit sick, do this as well. Just sends a really peaceful signal into the amygdala, and it's shown to really send a different signal. And when we let go of the overwhelm, we let go of the struggle against the sickness, we move into joy, then the body can start to heal. And it's amazing. We can heal very quickly. We have very powerful bodies. So, maybe well. Please do comment below. Let me know how you've got on with this. And yeah, if there's any other topics you'd like me to do some tapping for, please let me know. Okay, many blessings.